Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be continuing into part 8 of What If Beerus arrived after GT. If you haven't seen part 7, there's a title card where you can go check it out and see what happened in the last part. But we'll be going into the Tournament of Power arc. How strong would the members of Universe 7 be? Will Universe 7 be strong enough to win without Goku? If y'all are interested, I own a Discord server for anyone who wants to join and talk more about Dragon Ball with me and other viewers. Maybe give out some of your own ideas of what ifs, and maybe in the future I could do them. Check the link in the description down below. Without further ado, let's dive into part 8 of What If Beerus arrived after GT. The two fighters are confused on why they are here, but they allow Goku to explain. After hearing that their lives are at stake, if they don't win this tournament, they get concerned, with Broly struggling to understand. Granola looks over to see Oob, eyeing him down as he still remembers him from when he took out Moro. Goku began training the Z fighters, having them grow in any way possible that would help them be able to win in the Tournament of Power. He had the Saiyans train together with Vegeta and Gohan training together to try to get more use of the Super Saiyan 4 Blue transformation, while Trunks, Goten, and Future Trunks all train together to grow stronger and help Goten trying to perfect the Super Saiyan Blue transformation, while also training up Bra and Pan so that when they use the Potara fusion, their fusion will be a lot more stronger. Goku would help out the Saiyans every now and then, but would focus more on the 4 other members. With Marin, he would focus with trying to get her to be as strong as she can, as fast as possible. He knows Kaioken would not be helpful, but then remembers of the Elder Kai doing a ritual to Gohan giving him his mystic form, so he would teleport her towards the Elder Kai, and ask him to perform the ritual that he did with Gohan. Meanwhile, Goku would train Oob to try to obtain Ultra Instinct. Oob was shocked to hear that he did activate Ultra Instinct once for a second when he fought Goku, so he had a little confidence that he could tap into the power once again. And with the help of Goku and his knowledge and experience with the technique, Oob believed that he could tap into the power again. He did also tell Oob that he would need to be able to tap into the power in case Granola would try to backstab him, as he is a very powerful opponent, and the technique and abilities he does have makes him a strong fighter. Goku would spar with Granola to give him some of his own training, and to learn Granola's ability. Their matches would be one-sided with Goku being a lot stronger, but Granola's fighting style would sting for Goku. Now with Broly, he was a wild card. Broly was really quiet, and Vegeta didn't see the potential that Goku saw in Broly, but Goku did see Broly's true power. In this timeline, since a lot more time has passed, Broly's father, Paragus, died of old age, and when he passed, Broly lost control and went berserk. Transforming into his legendary Super Saiyan form, and that spike in power is what alerted Goku and witnessed Broly's power on the planet he was at. Goku was impressed, but saw how he was not in control, and if he didn't stop Broly, he would have blown up his own planet, as he knocked out Broly to calm him down. He kept an eye on him and eventually introduced himself to Broly, so that he wouldn't be alone for so long. He did struggle to befriend Broly as he was very quiet, so to train him, he would bring both of them to his home planet and they would spar together a lot, especially getting him to lose control going into his berserk form, as their fight would be more hectic. But it would be Broly who would be struggling against Goku, as he isn't as strong as him. But what Goku soon sees is that the longer Broly fights, the stronger he gets, and learning this about Broly, he tries to focus him more, as he may be their biggest weapon for the team. He really cracked down on Broly, trying to make him gain control of Super Saiyan so that he doesn't lose control when it comes to the actual tournament. Since they only had a few days, Goku would take Oob and Broly to the time chamber to give them more time to hone their abilities. They would spend a year there and they would grow significantly, with Broly actually managing to gain control of Super Saiyan and grew to be friends with Goku and Oob. Oob grew a lot in strength, but still struggled with learning the technique, as he was only able to use it when he was pushed to his limits, rather than on command. The time came where they all began to head to the tournament, kinda worried as some of them were unsure if they could win. Once they got to the arena, the tournament soon began. Vegeta, Broly, and Granola would head out on their own, fighting anyone they found, while Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and Future Trunks stuck together as Oob, Bra Pan, and Marin would stick together as another group. Goku was watching with Zeno and the Grand Priest if he was worried that his friends wouldn't win the tournament, but Goku said he had faith that they would win. The tournament is going quite differently, as not only this overall team is a lot stronger, but most of the members are stronger alone comparable to the canon team. Bra Pan would see Kaba and would head towards him, as Kaba somewhat recognizes her, as she looks like Bra. Bra developed a little crush on Kaba, which Pan thought was nasty, until Kaba introduced her to Khalifa and Kale. And quickly, Bra's side of the fusion grew jealous. They began sparring, and none of them could match with the fusion of Bra Pan, even with both Kaba and Khalifa in Super Saiyan, until Kale grew out into a berserk state, which got Goku worried, thinking that it was similar to Broly's berserk state. Bra Pan dodges all the attacks, but does know that they have to power up as they charge up their ki, and a sudden blast of red aura forms around them. That's right, they went into their Super Saiyan God form. The fight turned around completely as Kale was struggling against this fusion, knocking her down into base form. Champa, not liking how his Saiyans are losing, would give them the Potara earrings, and Kefla would be made. This worries Bra Pen, thinking that they could be challenged, but remembering Bra's jealousy, she rushes at the Saiyan fusion, quickly going all out, not giving Kefla room to breathe, until she would end up knocking them out rather quickly. Kaba is surprised at how strong she's gotten, while Bra's side shows her jealousy towards his friends, while Pan makes fun of her. Kaba asks if they win this, if they could revive his universe, and Bra Pan promises to make sure that they will. Oob and Marin would actually hold off pretty well, taking on an entire universe on their own. But Oob senses someone very powerful, as he looks over to see Jiren, but he isn't meditating. He is currently facing off against Broly and Vegeta. With the Hybrid Saiyans, they are facing against the Pride Troopers, and most of them are simple to deal with, but against Toppo and Dispo, they are a lot more of a challenge. With Gohan and Goten fighting against Toppo, and both Trunks fighting Dispo, with Granola he goes face to face with Hit. They actually complement each other's fighting style, as they both seem to have pretty close fighting styles. His time skip would work against Granola, and would hurt, but also during the time skip, Granola is able to strike Hit at his weaker points, so currently they're at a standstill. Neither of them are able to gain the advantage over the other. With Jiren fighting against Broly and Vegeta, they're managing to hold off, but alone, Jiren is managing against the two pretty easily. Jiren found these two as a threat, and he decided to fight much more earlier in the tournament. He doesn't underestimate them and decides not to hold back his true power. Broly does slowly get stronger the more he fights, still at this form, but the rate isn't as fast as it was if he was in his berserk state. Zeno is most excited about that fight going on, as they are the strongest fighters in the entire tournament, and they are fighting each other, causing the most amount of damage at the arena. Goku is slightly worried as he can sense how strong Jiren is, and he is unsure that if even Broly went berserk, he would have a tough time fighting off Jiren. With Oob and Marin, they eventually get overrun, with Oob barely being able to escape, but Marin being the first person to be knocked out, but then Oob runs into Frost, and he gets stabbed with the injections, which bring Oobs to collapse, to the floor, as Frost leaves him there. Goku sees this and is shocked to how Oob got damaged so easily, as Oob is left there on the floor of the battlefield. Granola and Hit continue on with their battle, as they were both heavily damaged, but quite enjoying their battle and even giving tips to each other after learning that they were both assassins in their respective universe. They both power up further, with trying for this next attack to be the deciding factor of who is the victor, as they rush at each other, each striking the other with all their strength, as then they would both collapse into the ground and knocked out. As battle rages on, with more and more destruction of the arena, more fighters get knocked out, like Goten and Trunks, leaving Gohan and Future Trunks to fight their battle against Toppo in his destruction form, and Future Trunks fighting Dispo. Meanwhile, Vegeta and Broly still try their best to fend off Jiren. No matter what they are throwing at him, he keeps fighting. Vegeta begins to feel fatigued. After being in his transformation for so long, he looks over to see that currently it is only himself, Broly, Gohan, Future Trunks, and Oob, who is still knocked out, against Dispo, Jiren, and Toppo. Knowing he will be out of energy soon, he starts to push Broly to go berserk, as that is their chance of winning. Broly isn't sure as he could not control it, but seeing as they are back in a corner, he decides to let go and begin to go berserk, as he gets enraged and his body bulks up, as now a more powerful Broly goes on to fight Jiren, and their clash is legendary. The impact sends Vegeta flying out of the arena. The only fighters who struggle to remain in the arena as they are trying not to get sent flying. At first, things seem fine, with Broly holding his own against Jiren, but then when Jiren goes into his full power form, things change, as he begins to beat down on Broly like he is nothing. Gohan and Future Trunks try to get to help him, but they are still busy fighting their own opponents. We go away as we are in the mind of Oob. Currently, he still cannot move his body, and is frustrated with himself, as Goku believed in him to help their universe win the tournament, but he failed. Then Oob sees both Boo and the Grand Supreme Kai, as they tell him that he is still in the fight, and no doubt one, if not the strongest person in this tournament, as based on who he was incarnated from, and now the entire full potential of Boo's power and knowledge of the Kais are in him. A bright light appears out of nowhere and everyone is confused on what the light is. They all look astonished, as even the gods and angels bow down. Zeno and the Grand Priest are surprised, and Goku couldn't be any happier. Oob has achieved Ultra Instinct. With the Pride Troopers caught off guard, Oob would instantly strike them in a mere fraction of a second. He teleported to the other side, and all three Pride Troopers were attacked. The Z Fighters were stunned. They did not know what to say. They are shocked to see how much power Oob truly wields. Dispo was out after the attack as it was too much damage. Toppo fell out of his god form and Gohan took this moment to knock him out of the arena. Jiren then focuses and goes on the attack on Oob, but no matter what he was throwing at him, Oob just dodged all of it with ease. In each strike Oob did to Jiren, he fell over in pain. Jiren doesn't get it as he saw Oob knocked out for such a long time. How did he recover? And Oob thanks Boo for giving him the ability to heal to full strength. Oob looks at himself pretty shocked by his own power. And during this, Jiren would try to strike Oob, but he would fail. He wouldn't even flinch. Oob apologizes to Jiren and eliminates him, letting Universe 7 win the tournament, and the MVP would go to Oob after the crazy comeback. He would be given the chance to make a wish, and no doubt would resurrect everyone who was erased, which pleased the Grand Peace. Everyone would celebrate and head back to their own universe. Goku is proud of Oop for winning the tournament, but more for making that wish. Once they all returned to Earth, Beerus would ask Goku for another match, which he would accept as they would head away. Everyone thinks things will go back to normal, but then suddenly all the Saiyans and Hybrid Saiyans are knocked out as they collapse to the floor, leaving only Marin and Oob. They both are shocked as they see Granola telling them that they could leave since they aren't Saiyans, but he will take his chance to get his revenge for his people. And that's where we're gonna leave it up for now. Tell me how you think about what I did with the 8th part and how I did with the Tournament of Power arc. What is the fate of the Saiyans? Will Oob be able to stop Granola? How will this final encounter go down? What could have happened differently? Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. I would love to hear them. If y'all are interested and enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted whenever I post another part. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next part.